Joe Rago. Welcome,
Dan.
Joe.
Thanks for having me.
So Arizona ended up before the Supreme Court today, and it appears it was kind of a bad day at the court for the U.S. government.
That's right. The Solicitor General, Donald Verrilli, was really getting beaten up by Sonia Sotomayor,
Of all people,
which gives you a sense of just the weakness of his legal arguments. You know, Justice Sotomayor said, "I'm terribly confused by your answer. You can see it's not going very well. Why don't you try something else? I don't think you're focusing on the right stuff." You know, this is not. You do not want to be berated by the person who you would think would be his ally.
Yeah, poor Solicitor General Verrilli's starting to look like the Boston Red Sox. He can't cut a break these days after the Obamacare decision. But what exactly was the government trying to assert in this case that it brought against Arizona?
Right. Well, this case is sort of about immigration per se, but it's really about the balance of federal and state power. And what Arizona did in 2010 was they passed a law that said the cops, the local police, the state police need to help enforce federal immigration laws. So, for instance, if the police pull over someone who can't document their immigration status with, you know, a driver's license or whatever, they would need to call the feds and say, "Can you check this person's immigration status?" And what the federal government said, what the Obama administration said, was this is interfering with our enforcement of federal law. Now, normally, if Arizona said we need to make up, you know, we're going to build a wall on our border with Mexico, or you know, we're going to crack down much more than federal law. Federal law would displace it because the federal government has control under the Constitution of immigration policy.
But just to clarify, whether it's immigration policy or other federal laws, it's well established that the states do have a role to implement and execute federal law.
Right, exactly.
Which is what Arizona says it was doing.
Right, and federal law actually creates an affirmative duty for the federal government to respond when requests come in for states asking about the legal status of somebody they might have in custody or something like that. So there was really no preemption claim, and basically the Obama administration wants lower enforcement of the laws that are on the books, and so that's why they were suing. It was purely a political decision, that's why Donald Verrilli had such a bad day at the High Court.
Yeah, well, we're talking about immigration, so of course it's impossible not to talk about politics. It's one of the most politicized issues out there right now. Talk a little bit about what were the politics beneath. We understand the politics on the Republican side, build a wall, no amnesty, the rest of it. But what piece does the Democratic Party and the Obama administration bring to this debate?
Right. Well, sure. We should probably just stipulate, and you would probably agree with me and the rest of the editorial board, that this is not the best use of Arizona's resources. Right. You know, but look, it's their decision under preemption doctrine. Fine. What I think the White House is trying to do here is tar all Republicans as kind of anti-Hispanic bigots, saying, "Oh, look, we've got an election coming up. Hey, very important swing vote block. Maybe you should look at these Republicans." You've also got a lot of liberal-leaning groups coming in and saying, "Well, this is all about racial profiling. This is all about, you know, a racist police state that Arizona is trying to institute." I don't think that's true, and in fact, the federal government and the Solicitor General did not make that claim at the High Court, which is sort of an indication of the weakness of it and the sort of overt political nature of some of these claims.
Yeah. All right, Joe. Well, I guess we're going to get a decision from the court in June, and that means that will come before the election. So perhaps in that sense, the court will provide some clarity to the immigration issue.